key point here, we're not looking at this loneliness to fix it. We're looking at the loneliness to hear it, be there for it, figure out what it needs. And maybe it just needs to be there. And maybe we just need to feel that. And I think that can be the confusing things for emotions. But the more you develop a relationship with yourself, the more you're going to be able to face these emotions and just be like, oh, it literally is just like talking to a little kid. What are you feeling? Why are you feeling it? What can I do for you? You might not know why you're upset or feeling the way you do. It's okay to feel lonely. It's okay to love life. I've been in a season where I've been feeling really lonely, and I've been allowing myself to feel that loneliness and letting two feelings exist at once. I love being single. I love the freedom it gives me, and I love the time that it gives me to put my energy into what I'm working on for the future, for the now, and really pursue my dreams. But then another part of me too craves partnership, love, being fully seen. And I wanted to make this episode as a light for love, loneliness, and letting both coexist, but also healing through finding love in other things, because also you can be in a partnership and still feel lonely. You don't just have to be single. You can have a very full life. You can have a lot of people in your life and still feel lonely, still feel like there are people in your life that don't get you. And I've been in so many different seasons of loneliness where it can be in a partnership. Even when I have a bunch of friends or friend groups, sometimes it's just feeling lonely in the sense that I don't feel like I'm truly seeing myself or being with myself, or feeling like the connections around me are deep and fulfilling. And so I think it's ironic, if you're watching, my dog is sleeping and the sunlight is shining on her. And it's funny because my intention with this episode was shining light on the loneliness, not getting rid of it. Because it's just like that with our shadow and our darkness. You can't just get rid of them, right? And you can find ways to try to fulfill that loneliness that you're feeling, or whatever the case may be, finding a new hobby, whatever. But I think for me, I've been trying to find love in everything, and trying to find more love in the mundane and just everyday things rather than just a partnership. Because I think too, society kind of romanticizes partnerships and that completing us and fulfilling us. And, you know, relationships are glamorized on social media, all the things. And you might be in a season of life where a lot of people around you are in partnerships. And that doesn't even have to do with it all the time, right? Like, again, you could be in a partnership and still feel this way. And I think a really important part about shining light on the loneliness is noticing what habits come up because of that feeling of loneliness. And I know for me, when I went on my 6 months of sobriety, that was a huge feeling I noticed that popped up that I was trying to suppress with substances in the past. And when I told my therapist that, she was like, that's really common. That's something that a lot of people say. And even as someone like me that's hyper independent, super introverted, I still, just like everyone else, need connections, love, partnership. And I think, though, that the more I fill up my life, the more I do feel fulfilled with the life that I have now. Because for me, I just have waves of loneliness where I'll feel it here and there, especially, you know, when I'm slowing down. But I have so many amazing communities, friends, just like really deep connections, really fulfilling friendships and hobbies and work. Just everything feels really fulfilling and really bright right now. But I've also tried to become appreciative of the everyday rituals that I have, and really being set on a consistent schedule that works for me and makes me feel like I can have a different ritual every day that lights me up. You know, I have different things that I do each day, and I just remind myself to be thankful and love all of it. And I know all of that sounds so cheesy. Oh my gosh, just think, love, and light. And that's not just it. That with the feeling of the loneliness, writing down how you feel, why you feel it. Do you crave a partnership? Do you crave deeper friendships? What is the root to your loneliness? And you don't have to be ashamed of it, and know that everybody feels lonely at some point of their life. And maybe you've been feeling this way for a long time. I know for me, I have. And that's okay. It's okay to crave whatever you're craving. But yeah, listing down what kind of partnership or love are you wanting? What is your loneliness kind of illuminating? And is that something that you can fulfill? And I know another thing I've been doing is redefining my definition of love. because I think love and loneliness and fulfillment all kind of come together. And I think last year I felt like I was really pessimistic and was not really seeing the world through a lens of light, but darkness. But I was also like diving into my darkness at the time. So I just wasn't in a place to see the world in a love and light way, I guess you could say. And it's okay if you're in either realm, you know, like maybe looking at the place a little bit dark, but then eventually maybe looking at it and seeing it through lens of light lens, whatever. This episode is just to shake things up and let you know that you can feel love and fulfillment and loneliness at the same time. It's okay to feel lonely. It's okay to dive into that loneliness. And I know people get scared to face these feelings of loneliness and the fears that come behind that. Maybe you're fearful you're never going to find someone, or you're never going to have a life that's fulfilling or makes you feel like you're not alone. Because I think that's the hardest part about being lonely, is that you can be lonely with an amazing life and you can be lonely with a life with no one. Just because you have people, amazing things in your life, it doesn't mean you're not going to feel that way. And sometimes our needs are going to be met and sometimes they're not. And sometimes we have to meet our own needs and find out what those needs are. And I'm still trying to get good at that, because I feel like I can be bad at just distracting myself instead of thinking, okay, I feel lonely. Okay, instead of crashing out over this, let me write down and dive deep into the loneliness and that feeling. But feeling is hard. And I talk about feeling a lot on here. But if I'm being so real, I'm really bad at it. And I talk about it on here because it's something I'm still trying to integrate into my life. Everything I talk about, I'm trying to get better at too. And I definitely don't have the loneliness thing figured out yet. But I do know that I find love in everything. And I love having plants. I love having animals. I love having close friends and deep friendships. And I love the communities I have. And I think when I remind myself of all the things that I love in my life and all the things that are amazing and all the people that are still here, I can't help but feel full. But when I dive into the loneliness and I just keep diving and keep diving, I can't help but feel like I'm going to spiral, especially when I'm just highlighting the loneliness instead of the things that are surrounding it and surrounding my life. And so I think it's important to dive into the loneliness, but not get too lost in the sauce, right? Let the loneliness speak to us, but then still continue to remind yourself of all the light that you have in the world. Because that's been my entire theme of this upcoming new year of 2026, whenever you're listening to this, has been integrating both. Because I, for so long, was living in the light and feeling it. And then once I dove into the dark part of myself and really did some deep freaking healing, I am just seeing now how everything is duality and how you can experience so many different things. In this podcast episode, I'm kind of ping-ponging everywhere. Different ideas, different themes, two sides of things. But I feel like that is the mindset that I was missing 2 or 3 years ago, was this idea that, hey, you don't have to just be suffering. Like, hey, you don't just have to be sad or sitting in one emotion. You can be happy, you can be sad, bro. Everything can coexist and be amazing. In the same day, I can be happy, mad, sad. All of it can be a feeling that I have at the same time. And it can be a confusing thing because we're taught black, white, good, bad. But you can experience everything all at once. Okay? It's okay to feel lonely. It's okay to talk to people about it. And for me, I've been trying to be more transparent about that, especially as a hyper independent girly, because part of me likes when people are like, oh, you're so independent. I'm like, yeah. But then there's that part of me that's like, but also, hey, I get lonely too. Okay? I don't want to just be seen as this like indestructible human that needs no human interaction. Okay? But also, with love comes opening your heart and actually being open to receiving, which has been my current theme in therapy. And that's been fun to dive into. So it's ironic that I'm making a podcast episode about love when that's the very thing I'm working on in my own life, and figuring out what love means for me and what is keeping me from receiving it. And that theme and figuring that out may be the very thing that leads me to why I've been feeling lonely. But key point here, we're not looking at this loneliness to fix it. We're looking at the loneliness to hear it, be there for it, figure out what it needs. And maybe it just needs to be there. And maybe we just need to feel that. And I think that can be the confusing things for emotions. But the more you develop a relationship with yourself, the more you're going to be able to face these emotions and just be like, oh, it literally is just like talking to a little kid. What are you feeling? Why are you feeling it? What can I do for you? You might not know why you're upset or feeling the way you do. If you've stuck with me for this long, thank you. I know this was just kind of a brain dump and I was going all over the place. So hopefully you didn't get whiplash through that episode. I've just been letting my deep, dark, sad, whatever emotions live when they need to live. Not everything needs to be fixed. It's funny though, because in this same episode, I'm saying, hey, this emotion doesn't need to be fixed. But I'm also talking about how you can figure out what that emotion needs. And you might look at that and be like, oh, well, that's trying to fix it. It's like, no, you're just going through the stages of listening, being there with it, and then listening to it, you know? It's kind of like if you get in an argument and you guys are just ranting at each other, and then you take some time away and then you come back. And you're like, okay, now let's solve this. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to let the feeling, the crash out happened. Crash out as in just feeling the emotion in whatever way that may be. It might not be a crash out. And then thinking, okay, well, what can I do about this? You know, you should allow yourself to feel sad or feel whatever you're feeling, but it's important not to live there. So if that was understandable at all, I hope it was. It's really hard to grasp our mind again around those ideas because we're not taught that. And I think when you start to experience that, because it's an experience when you can experience all of this, that's when you're like, whoa, life has depth. Because it does. It really does. So anyways, I'm sending love out there to all of you. You will find love. You are love. And it's okay to sit in that loneliness. It's okay to sit in the love. It's okay to feel lonely when you're with people. Show yourself love. Listen to all the parts of yourself that are talking to you. And I hope you have the best day in the entire world. Dude, I am so chill right now. This one's gonna have a lot of blue bees. She's so cute. I love her. Okay, anyways. Alexa, what time is it?
Right now, it's 11:44 a.m.
Okay. What was I gonna say? Hello, friends. It's okay to feel lonely. It's okay to love life. Be happy for your friends. Okay, I'm talking about loneliness and finding love and light and joy and other things in love. My back. Bro, where is my... Bruh. It's too late now.